Yo guys, it's CFB. Welcome back to a brand new video. Welcome back to the channel. Today we are here with the first round of 16 game for the Club World Cup between Benfica and Chelsea. This is the Benfica versus Chelsea match preview, and it's not going to be an easy game. It's not going to be the easy game at all. I feel like this game is going to go slightly under the radar a little bit. But it's not going to be an easy game at all. It's a big round of 16 game for Chelsea and for Benfica in that sense as well. So before we do get into the match preview, please like, subscribe, hit the bell notification so notified every time I load a video. Also, first link in the description of my streaming channel, my second channel. Go and check those out. It'd be very much appreciated. Also, real quick, thank you all for hitting 400 subscribers on the channel. We hit the goal way before the Premier League season officially started. Obviously, that was the goal. Before the season officially started in the Premier League, before the first game was kicked off, 400 subs was the goal, and we managed to hit it, what, 2 months, a month and a half in advance. So I can't thank you all enough. Much love, God bless you all. And I can't thank you all enough. I don't know what the next target's going to be. Maybe 450 before the season starts? Can we hit 450 before the season starts? It may be a bit too extreme, but look, I've got trust in you all. I've got trust in you all. Anyway, let's get straight into the video for Benfica versus Chelsea. It could be, you know, named either way, Chelsea versus Benfica, Benfica versus Chelsea, but on the, you know, the Club World Cup website is meant to be Benfica versus Chelsea. So that's the way it's going to be. I'm guessing we're going to be in our away kit again, maybe. I don't mind it, but anyway, this is not going to be an easy game in the slightest because, look, our players are tired. We know our players are completely knackered. You know, we did rest quite a lot of players in the last game that we did play, which was against Tunis. We rested quite a lot of players against Tunis. Quite a lot of our better players. Palmer, for example, got rested. Levi Colwill got rested. Caicedo got rested. Lavia basically got rested, but played a bit more towards the end of the game. You know what I'm trying to say? We rested quite a lot of our best players. Cucurella as well. Reece James. You know what I mean? The bench, at one point, when it you know, there was the camera on the bench, it looked like that Barcelona 2009 bench, you know, the famous photo with, you know, Henry and Ronaldinho and stuff, Iniesta on the bench. It looked like that type of photo, and I'm hoping it's just as iconic, maybe. But we rested quite a lot of our players, so quite a lot of our players are going to be ready for this game, which is good because in that game, those type of players needed to be rested against that type of team. We should have gone out, and we did go out and beat Tunis with that team. That I asked nothing more of that. Against Benfica, though, we do need to put out a relatively quite strong side, in my opinion. Again, they are a good team, Benfica. Don't let it go under the radar when I say what I'm about to say. But even like a sprinkle of a couple second teamers in this team should be able to beat Benfica, in my opinion. So, like I said, that's nothing to Benfica. Benfica are a top Portuguese side, top European side in general. You know what I'm trying to say? They're always in the Champions League, always competing at the highest level. So it's not going to be an easy game in the slightest. I'm a tad little bit worried. I'm not going to lie. I'm a tad little bit worried because we've not really impressed in the Club World Cup. Like, even in the last game where we won 3-0, there was a large part of that game where, yeah, we had all control of the game. You know, Tunis didn't really test us, but we just didn't look as convincing. So, don't get me wrong, as we go into the latter stages of this competition, I get a tad little bit worried. I do get a tad little bit worried. But, like I said, let's not brush Benfica aside because they've surprisingly got a decent squad, actually. When I look at the names they've got right here, right now, Renato Sanchez plays for him. Really good player. I'm surprised he's 28, by the way. 28. I remember when this guy broke in. Do you remember when this guy broke into the, you know, broke in as a youngster, as a young player? I think he used to play for like Swansea or something like that. Do you remember? Like, and just, I don't know, he's took a bit of downward trajectory, but he's still an established player, really good player. Andrea Bellotti as well, used to be a good goal scorer in the Italian league. Bruma, you know, decent forwards. He's a name at least. Otamendi, obviously a player that used to play for Manchester City. And then Angel Di Maria, which is arguably their star player. Even though he's 37 years old, he's still, you know, he can still cause a hammer. He can still cause an upset, if you know what I'm trying to say. So they've got established players. They've got established players who have been at the top level for a long period of time, who know what it's like to be at the top level, know what to do in these type of situations, despite how old they are. Like I said, Di Maria is still a player that can cause something for them, create stuff for them. He's still a good player. Even though he's 37, they've got a good team. They finished second in the Portuguese league, just 2 points behind Sporting last season. Obviously, the season that's just gone. So, and we all know Benfica and their history. You know, they bring in some brilliant young players. They have got a brilliant young player who we're regularly linked to every so often. I think it's Araujo or something like that. Their centre-back, young centre-back. I might be wrong on that name, but, you know, they're a good side, established side. They've got through to the round of 16 for a reason. They've got through to the round of 16 for a reason. And as we get into the round of 16, as soon as we hit round of 16, this is where now you start to get teams that you can compete against. These are teams that, you know, you will be facing in the Champions League next season. We might face Benfica next season in the Champions League. For example, Bayern Munich, we might face them next season in the Champions League. They're a Champions League team. Real Madrid, Champions League team. Man City, Champions League team. You know what I'm trying to say? Teams that are in this competition now, round of 16 onwards, are going to be there at the highest level, who are there at the highest level. So now we start to get the proper taste, and now we start getting into the proper things. You know what I'm trying to say? I'm not here for no, you know, butter on bread. I'm here for the real thing, the steak, the cooked, well-cooked steak, and the sprinkled salty chips. You know what I'm trying to say? I'm here for it. I'm absolutely frothing for it. And this is a good tester. I'm not saying, you know, this is going to be just like the Champions League. It's not, obviously. Like, the Champions League is probably going to be way more competitive. But this is a good taster because our group was probably one of the easiest groups out of the lot. We should have passed it being top of the group. But looking how the table is, I'm kind of glad we didn't get top of the group. But this is going to be way harder than what the group is, if you know what I'm trying to say. Way harder than what the group is. Talking about the table for the round of 16 for the Club World Cup, I'm going to tell you what our side currently looks like. Palmeiras face a team I've never heard of. They've got like a black badge with a star in the middle. The winner of those two face the winner of us and Benfica. Obviously hoping it's us. I kind of hope for a Palmeiras-Chelsea game there so we get to see a bit of Gustavo. That'd be quite nice. It'd be quite nice. Below that, who ideally we'd face in the semi-finals of the competition is either Inter or Flamese, who's Thiago Silva's side. So that'd be quite nice to see Thiago Silva. And Man City and Al Hilal, I think that is Al Hilal. I'm not too sure. Al Hilal or Al Hali, I think that's one of the two. They're the teams that are currently on our side. I'm not going to go through the opposite side because, you know, nobody cares. But the opposite side is obviously way more tougher. I mean, you've got Bayern Munich, Dortmund, Real Madrid, just to name off, you know, 3 of those there. So things are getting tasty now. Things are getting tasty now, and we're going to have to start playing a better team. We're going to have to start playing better teams now. Like, this is why I wanted us to experiment more in the group stage. You know, Santos should have got way more game time than what he did in the group stage. Same with Sarr, same with Asugo, maybe a Mark Gu as well. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, these are the times now where we are right now, we've got to play a better side. We've got to play a better side. So, there's no injury news, obviously, no injury news, which is good, and I hope it continues because, like I said, games like every 3 or 4 days at the moment, and we're playing in this heat. I'm surprised we haven't had any injuries yet. So, long may it continue. Hopefully, we don't get any more injuries. And that is about it for the preview side of things. Now, let's get into the starting 11 I would like to see for tomorrow's game. Also, by the way, I think it's only one group stage. I think it's only one round of 16 game, and then you move on to the quarters. It's only one, semis, one, and then final. So, yeah, anyway, now let's get into the match, the lineup I would go for tomorrow. So, the 11 I would personally go with for tomorrow is going to be right here on the screen. Jorgensen in goal. I'm going to go with Jorgensen. You know, he didn't really have much to do last game, but I think we look more comfortable with Jorgensen in goal than what we do with Sanchez. Maybe. Anyway, Cucurella comes back into the side. I'd have him at left back, inverting into midfield, obviously. At right back, I'd have Achiampong as a right back, inverting as a right centre back. Now, hear me out. Obviously, Cucurella is self-explanatory. Cucurella has to come in. He's had a rest. He should be ready to go now. Achiampong, I've chose him over Reece James today. Well, tomorrow. Because the simple fact of I'm worried Reece James will get injured tomorrow. I'm worried. But he's obviously gotten better, so I've not got PTSD over it anymore, but I'm worried. Give Achiampong a run for it. At right centre-back, he looks comfortable there. He looks comfortable. So I'm willing for us to give him a run again, and if we really need to bring Reece James on, we bring him on. So there's no doubt about it, Reece James will definitely get minutes at some point in this game. And if Reece James starts, I'm not that bothered, but give Achiampong a run again. Why not? That means Tosin Adebayo would form from a centre-back into the central centre-back, Levi Colwill as a left centre-back, which I think would actually be beneficial. I've always came out and said when we're doing this, inverting, one full-back as a centre-back thing, I think Tosin Adebayo, if he's in the squad, he's best as the central centre-back out of all of our centre-backs, in my opinion. No doubt about it. He also picked up the man of the match award in the last game. Do I agree with him being man of the match? No. But do I think he had a brilliant game? Yes. Long may it continue. He's going in alongside Levi Colwill, who comes back as well into the side. He has to come in as well for me. And then we move into a midfield two, a double pivot of Caicedo and Andre Santos. Obviously, when Cucurella inverts into midfield, I'd have Santos pushing up, being the more attacking one out of the two between him and Caicedo, obviously. Caicedo comes back into the squad. I don't even need to say much about it. Caicedo's Caicedo. Andre Santos, I want to see him more. Look, the first 5-10 minutes when he came off the bench, I thought he looked shoddy. I thought he looked off it. He was losing the ball, misplaced passes consistently. It looked worrying. I'm not going to lie. But then he started to come back into it for the last 10 minutes. Obviously got an assist. It wasn't a wowzer assist. It was quite a simple one. I could have made that assist. But all that matters is the big thing is he got minutes. And he needs more minutes if he wants to evolve into this Chelsea team. I would give him the run of the game tomorrow. I would give him the run of the game tomorrow. Why not? Why not? Him being the more attacking one out of the two, with Cucurella helping him out, inverting into the midfield, I think would actually benefit Santos. I think it would benefit Santos quite a lot because there wouldn't be as much pressure for him to drop back as much. So, and it allows him to progress forward as well, which is obviously a big trait of his, which is good. So, I'd have Santos in, personally. Do I think that's going to happen? No. If it doesn't, then I hope he gets minutes at some point. Even 10-15 minutes, I'm happy. Pedro Neto off the left, he comes back into the squad. I think he's actually been our best player in the Club World Cup so far. Shoot me down as much as you want, I don't care. 2 goals in 2 games he's got. I think he's been brilliant so far. He comes back into the squad over on the left, in my opinion. Off the right, I've gone with Palmer to accommodate. That doesn't even make any sense. What's the word? Accommodate? To accommodate Nkunku. And this is going to be a shock. But I've got a little reason for it. Palmer off the right, play him as a natural right winger, not what Maresca did last time Palmer played off the right, because last time he played Palmer off the right, he was trying something new. He was trying a new type of system. Don't do that system. Just play Palmer as a normal right winger. I reckon he'll do a decent job. I know I said I don't want Palmer off the right in the last time, but I'm doing Palmer off the right because I want to see how Palmer links up off on the right alongside Nkunku. Because I thought Nkunku, in the last game that we played, obviously in the Club World Cup against Tunis, albeit it was Tunis, Benfica are a massive level above, obviously. But I think Nkunku had a really, really good game. I thought he looked on it. He looked like he wanted to play. He looked like he wanted it. Why not go for it again? Why not build on that? So I would go with Nkunku in the 10. If not, and Palmer's in the 10, I don't really mind. But I'm just trying to also save some of our wingers from getting injured or something like that, because we're very, very short on wingers, obviously. So I'd go Nkunku in the 10. Obviously, he had a good link-up with Delap, who unfortunately is not going to be chosen for this game because he's been chosen for majority of the Club World Cup games. He's playing in outrageous heat, training in outrageous heat. I don't want him to pick up an injury and be out for the first Premier League game of the season, which is still quite a while away, but I don't want to risk it. Why not play Mark Gu for the first half? First 45 minutes, Mark Gu. Second half, 45 minutes, Delap. Why not? I think Mark Gu could do it against this type of team. I generally think Mark Gu could do it against this type of team. We've seen him many times, in the Conference League and, and stuff. Even when he used to play for Barcelona, he was playing La Liga. We've seen him against, teams that not are on the quality of Benfica, but, there's not much of a distance. You know what I'm trying to say? And he does a good job. So I'd give him 45 just to give Delap a 45-minute rest. That's what I would personally do. Anyway, that's the lineup I'd go with for tomorrow. So, score predictions tomorrow, Benfica versus Chelsea. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. I don't know if penalties is a thing on here, is it? I don't know if penalties... Well, penalties will definitely be a thing on here. I don't know if it goes to extra time. That's what I meant. Like, does it go to extra time and then penalties, or is it just penalties straight away after? I'm not too sure. Because obviously some competitions just do penalties straight after. Either way, I've got a weird feeling it's going to be 1-1. I don't know why. I've got a weird feeling we're going to draw this game. It's going to be 1-1. And I hate to say it, I think Benfica are going to take it. I hate to say it, I think Benfica are going to take it. I think this is where our Club World Cup journey comes to an end. And will I be massively bothered? Not really. Do I want my team to win the trophies, every trophy at stake? Yes, obviously. But for at this rate, I wouldn't be too bothered because I just want us to be prepared for the Premier League. That's what it is. But I think we're going to give it a good go tomorrow. I just think Benfica are going to be just that bit more on it than us because, I'm not bringing up the excuse about weather or anything, but they're used to this type of climate more than what we are, and I think they're going to be more ready for it. I think they're going to be more ready for it. I think the weather's going to catch up to us tomorrow. I do. I think it's going to show as well on the pitch a little bit. So anyway, Chelsea, prove me wrong, but I've just got a bad feeling. I've just got a really bad feeling. Anyway, that's it for today, guys. Hopefully you've all enjoyed. Let me know in the comments down below what you all think the prediction is going to be. I'll see you an hour after the game tomorrow. So hit the bell notification so you're notified for the video, for a match reaction. And I'll see you then. Take care, like, subscribe. See you in a bit, guys. Up the chows. Peace.